Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tammy Slaton's journey has never been an easy one to watch nor to live. Over the years, 1,000-Pound Sisters fans have witnessed her rise to emotions, her battles with food addiction, and her near-death experiences. But they've also watched her rise like a phoenix from the ashes, transforming into a stronger, healthier, and surprisingly more open version of herself. Yet, behind every smile and every new confident selfie, Tammy has confessed there's still one thing she struggles with, and it's not the diet, the gym, or even the public scrutiny. It's something far deeper, something that lingers even as the pounds fade away. Learning to love herself in a new body and a new life. In a recent heart-to-heart moment, Tammy revealed the truth about her biggest struggle amid her ongoing transformation, showing fans that her weight loss, while physically life-changing, also carries emotional weight that can't be measured on a scale. From hospital bed to hero, the beginning of a new life. When 1,000-Pound Sisters first premiered in 2020, Tammy Slaton's story was both captivating and heartbreaking. At her heaviest, Tammy weighed over 700 pounds and relied on oxygen to breathe. Every movement was a challenge. Every meal carried risk. Fans watched as her health deteriorated, her mobility declined, and her spirit dimmed. Her sister, Amy Slaton, had already undergone weight loss surgery and was moving forward with her life as a new mom. But for Tammy, the journey seemed impossible. Years of emotional eating, medical emergencies, and toxic relationships had trapped her in a cycle that felt unbreakable. Then came the wake-up call, the one that changed everything. In late 2021, Tammy's oxygen levels plummeted, and she was rushed to the hospital. Doctors placed her on life support. Fans feared the worst. But somehow, Tammy survived. That moment became the turning point. When she woke up, Tammy knew she'd been given another chance. It was like God was telling me, "This ain't your time," she said in an interview later. "I had to fight for my life, and for once I actually wanted to." The weight loss that shocked everyone. After months in a rehab facility, Tammy began her most serious weight loss effort yet. She followed her diet strictly, did therapy, and even started exercising in small increments. Slowly but surely, the pounds began to melt away. By the time season 5 of 1,000-Pound Sisters aired, Tammy had lost more than 400 pounds. She was walking on her own, smiling more, and radiating a confidence that fans hadn't seen before. The woman who once sat silent in frustration was now cracking jokes, taking selfies, and even wearing bright colors that reflected her renewed spirit. But what made her transformation truly powerful wasn't just the number on the scale. It was how open she became about her mental and emotional health. In one particularly emotional confessional, Tammy admitted, "Everybody sees the outside change, the body, the weight loss, the clothes. But what people don't see is how hard it is inside. I'm still trying to figure out who I am now." The hidden pain of transformation. Losing hundreds of pounds is no small feat. For Tammy, it meant literally rebuilding her life from scratch, from the way she eats to how she moves to even how she thinks about herself. But what fans often forget is that massive weight loss doesn't automatically erase decades of emotional trauma. Tammy has spoken candidly about growing up poor in Kentucky, being bullied for her weight, and dealing with depression from a young age. For her, food wasn't just nourishment, it was comfort, control, and a shield from pain. "When I was big, food was always there for me," she confessed. "It didn't judge me. It didn't leave. It was the one thing I could count on." Now, with her weight gone, Tammy has had to confront the feelings she once buried under food. Loneliness, guilt, fear, anxiety. "It's like when you lose your armor," she explained. "You feel everything again, the good and the bad." Therapists often call this the emotional fallout of extreme weight loss, a phase where people have to rediscover their identity outside of their size. For Tammy, that process has been her biggest struggle yet. Facing the mirror and the past. In one scene from 1,000-Pound Sisters, Tammy sits in front of a mirror during a therapy session. She looks at her reflection quietly for a long moment before whispering, "I don't recognize her." That line broke the internet and broke fans' hearts. Because for Tammy, seeing herself smaller wasn't just about pride, it was about confusion. For years, she had associated her identity with being the big sister, the one who can't do it, the one people pity. Now, all of that was gone. Who was she supposed to be without it? "It's weird," she said later in a social media video. "I used to hate my reflection because I thought I was ugly. Now, I look in the mirror and I still don't know how to feel. I don't hate her, but I don't fully love her yet either." Her words struck a chord with fans around the world, especially those on similar journeys. Body dysmorphia, where a person's perception of their body doesn't match reality, is common among individuals who lose large amounts of weight. Tammy's openness helped shine light on that struggle. Fame, fans, and finding peace. Even as Tammy adjusted to her new body, fame brought its own challenges. Social media, while full of love and encouragement, can also be cruel. Every new photo Tammy posted, whether she was smiling with friends, showing off a new outfit, or simply living her life, was met with thousands of comments. Some praised her transformation. Others accused her of using filters or even faking her progress. "It gets to me sometimes," she admitted. "People think just because you lost weight, you don't have feelings. But I do. I still have bad days." Yet, instead of retreating, Tammy used her platform to spread positivity. She began encouraging others to seek therapy, to trust their own timelines, and to celebrate small wins. "Your journey doesn't have to look like mine," she said in one of her most viral TikTok videos. "You just have to keep trying. Every single day." The loss that changed everything. Caleb's death. Perhaps the hardest part of Tammy's post-transformation life came in 2023 when her husband, Caleb Willingham, passed away unexpectedly. The two had met in rehab and bonded over their shared health struggles. Their love story, quick, intense, and emotional, was one of the most touching arcs in the show's history. When Caleb died, Tammy's world shattered again. "I felt like my heart had been ripped out," she said in a confessional later. "I was finally happy, and then it was gone." Grief tested her strength in ways she hadn't anticipated. Many fans feared she might relapse, but instead, Tammy turned her pain into motivation. "Caleb wanted me to live," she said. "He wanted me to keep going. So that's what I'm gonna do." The loss didn't just make her stronger, it made her more empathetic. Tammy began connecting with fans who had lost loved ones, turning her page into a space for healing and inspiration. The emotional weight of success. In one episode, Amy Slaton summed it up perfectly. "Tammy always thought losing weight would fix everything. But now she's realizing it's not that simple." Tammy herself admitted that success can be scary. You spend your whole life chasing something, and when you finally get it, you don't know what to do next. Her biggest struggle, she said, is not falling into old patterns, not just with food, but with negative thinking. "I used to be my own worst enemy," she said. "I'd tell myself I couldn't do it, that I wasn't worth it. Now, every day, I have to remind myself I deserve this life." That's why Tammy has focused so heavily on mental health in her recovery. She continues therapy, journals, and practices gratitude daily. "I used to count calories. Now I count blessings," she said in one of her posts. Learning to love herself again. The new Tammy Slaton isn't perfect, and she doesn't pretend to be. She still has days where she feels self-conscious, days when old habits whisper temptations, and days when she misses the comfort of her old routine. But she's also learning that healing isn't about being flawless. It's about forgiving yourself again and again. "I'm learning to love myself like I should have a long time ago," Tammy shared recently. "And that's hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done." Her transformation has inspired thousands of fans who see themselves in her. Many comment things like, "You give me hope," and "If Tammy can do it, I can too." And perhaps that's the greatest impact of all, not the physical change, but the emotional ripple it creates in others. Amy's support and sisterhood reborn. Throughout her journey, Tammy's relationship with her sister Amy has gone through highs and lows. They fought, cried, laughed, and sometimes gone months without speaking. But in recent seasons, their bond has grown stronger than ever. Amy has often said that watching Tammy fight for her life changed how she viewed her sister. "I used to think Tammy didn't want help," she said. "Now I see she just needed the right kind of help, love, not judgment." Tammy, in turn, has become more patient and understanding. She's even helped Amy with her own post-baby body confidence issues, showing that growth can be mutual. Their newfound sisterhood is now the heart of 1,000-pound sisters, two women, once broken, now holding each other up as they continue healing together. What comes next for Tammy Slaton? As of 2025, Tammy Slaton continues to amaze fans with her progress. She walks independently, drives, attends public events, and even teases potential career moves, from motivational speaking to writing a memoir. But when asked what her next goal is, Tammy's answer isn't about fame, weight, or even relationships. It's simple: peace. "I just want to be happy," she said softly in a recent clip. "For so long, I didn't think I deserved happiness. But now I know I do." Her honesty, vulnerability, and resilience have transformed her from a reality TV subject into a symbol of perseverance. And even though her journey isn't over, one thing's for certain: Tammy Slaton is no longer just surviving. She's living. Fans react. The power of Tammy's transformation. Social media has been flooded with fan messages praising Tammy's courage. One fan wrote, "She's proof that people can change if they want it bad enough. I'm so proud of her." Another added, "Tammy's story gives me hope. She's real, raw, and brave. I'm rooting for her every step." Even critics who once doubted her have started to change their tune. "I used to roll my eyes at Tammy," one commenter admitted. "Now I look at her and see strength. She's fighting battles most of us can't even imagine." Tammy has become more than a reality star. She's a symbol of redemption and resilience. The message she wants the world to hear. When asked what she wants her fans to take from her story, Tammy's answer is profound. "Don't wait until it's almost too late," she said. "Don't wait for the hospital, the oxygen tanks, or the heartbreak. Start today. Even if it's one small step. That's what I did, and look at me now." She also added, "Your biggest struggle might not be losing weight. It might be believing you're worth the fight. Once you believe that, everything else starts to fall into place." Her words echo a universal truth: transformation isn't just physical. It's emotional, spiritual, and ongoing. A legacy beyond reality TV. For years, Tammy Slaton's life played out in front of cameras, her highs, her lows, her pain, and her triumphs. But her story has evolved into something far greater than a TLC show. She's become an advocate for body positivity, mental health awareness, and self-forgiveness. Her journey continues to inspire documentaries, articles, and fan communities dedicated to sharing stories of recovery and hope. Even if 1,000-pound sisters were to end tomorrow, Tammy's legacy would live on as a woman who refused to give up even when the world doubted her. Tammy's biggest struggle and greatest victory. In her own words, Tammy once said, "Losing weight was hard, but forgiving myself, that's the real battle." And maybe that's what her story is truly about. Not just a body transformed, but a soul reborn. Tammy Slaton's biggest struggle isn't about food or fitness. It's about learning to live again after years of surviving. It's about facing the pain, the grief, and the fear, and still choosing love, peace, and gratitude. From her hospital bed to her newfound confidence, Tammy's journey shows us all that transformation isn't about becoming someone new. It's about finally becoming who you were meant to be all along.